and welcome to Year of Shame, Year 9, podcast 11. I can't believe we're already 11 months into the Year of Shame, nearly at the end. And this month I'm joined by 3 very special guests. The first guest was one of the hosts at the beginning of the year. Would you like to introduce yourself, lady?
Hi, it's Hannah. I'm briefly back, just taking a break from the baby.
Yeah, excellent. Well, it's lovely to have you back, Hannah.
Thank you.
And we've got 2 gentlemen joining us this evening, so I guess I'm going to have to say your names to just sort of ruin the surprise, otherwise you won't know who's going to talk first. So, Joe Cooper, welcome to the show.
Thank you, hello. I'm sort of lurked in the background for a little bit and had a bit of a listener, but, you know, like an always long-time listener, but never
Long-time lurker.
That's the one.
And we've also got Neil Jarrett with us as well.
Good evening, everybody. How are you doing?
Yeah,
are we all good?
Very good.
See, this is so weird. It's being on Year of Shame again, 6 years in the future. It's terribly weird.
Yeah. Being like on the girls' Year of Shame show as well.
Exactly.
Woo!
It feels. You know,
We've got boys.
Exactly. Does it feel strange to have like testosterone in the room? It's just it must feel.
Well, it does a little bit because I've had my brother and Dave with us before, but they're just big girls, so they didn't really count as boys.
Yeah.
Those 2.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, we're not looking like absolute alpha men powerhouses. There's none of us are going to drag someone across the jungle and get into the chopper.
No, I don't. You're both sporting beards, so
Yes.
yeah, that is fairly masculine.
Yeah. That's just a shield. That's just like a cover. No, actually real.
So, Hannah, what on earth have you been playing recently? I'm sure everyone would love to know. What you've been up
Yes, I've actually been, seeing as though I stepped back, I've then sort of, the whole world of gaming reopened to me. So
I bet it did, and I'm so envious.
Yeah.
Although not enough to have a baby.
well, no.
Yeah.
But no,
Not
I've
recommended.
started playing Destiny 2 again because
Fantastic.
everyone seemed to be playing it again. Like, they'd put it down and abandoned it for months and months, or even a year. And me and Kyle started playing that again. And I've just started playing Forza Horizon 5, which
Oh, Forza Horizon.
it's beautiful, it looks amazing, it's glitchy as fuck.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah.
It
But
literally
great fun.
is one of the best looking games I've seen
Oh,
in
they are
ages,
so
isn't it?
good.
It
It's
just
unbelievable.
it makes you kind of you look at it and you're like, am I watching video? Like when you see the kind of the light in the kind of the
It
end
looks
of
like
yeah.
it's been filmed,
yeah,
doesn't it?
it just
Yeah.
it look
Incredible.
it's so weirdly realistic. But yeah, it's one of those games that you could time sink thousands of hours in.
I was doing one of the like jumps to see how far you can jump with your car, and
Yeah.
I'd sort of set off at the top of this hill, and as I was flying through the air, I was like, "Oh, what a lovely view!" That like just staring at the view. How lovely! It smashed straight into a building at the bottom, so I had to do it all again.
Right, excellent. Well, it sounds like you've been having a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm completely jealous. So, Joe, what are you playing at the moment?
Well, I actually, bizarrely, did jump onto Destiny 2 for about half an hour. I used to play it too much. I played the old Destiny quite a lot. It's how I first met Dave, who was on last week. But I just got really frustrated with it really quickly. So much has changed since the last time I played it. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I got, I haven't paid for it, so I got the little freebie bit. And at the end of it, it was like, now give us a load of money. I was like, do you know what? I've just spent half an hour not knowing what has happened. I'll leave it with you for now. But I know that Destiny hunger. I know that sort of rushing home from work to try and buy stuff and kind of feeling, but I'm not sure I'm ready to go back to it.
Okay.
Be that person again.
Did you play a lot of like Destiny 1 then, Joe? Was it like Destiny 1?
A little bit. I've just realised where you are. Aaron,
I am on Club, yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
already played together. If you remember someone who had no sense of direction and often fell off objects, I mean, that's me.
Yeah. I have vague memories of stuff. I think I'm going to say.
I mean, it's the same name, so my name everywhere. I'm quite easy to spot.
But
I'm not exactly
it's
inspired.
interesting to see that you've kind of like, kind of when you fall off something like that, like Destiny, which is such a time-hungry game, and then you get tempted back with like, being on Games Pass and getting majority of the things for free, but then there's still a paywall there. It is an interesting conundrum because you kind of like.
I think if they give it me free for like a day, I'd be good. I don't want to be. I don't want to like. It was ruining my life. I was listening to podcasts about it, especially like Destiny Ghost Stories podcast. Not about the game, about like it was too much. So I'm glad. I'm just sticking with nice. I've been playing. What's the other one? I've completed Metroid Dread.
Right. That's on the
Which is
Switch.
Switchy,
platform,
yeah.
isn't it?
It's on the
I was
Switch.
going to say Nintendo.
Yeah.
That makes me. I don't know. It makes me feel old saying Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was on the
Switch.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
I've never played a Metroid game. I've never kind of think. Are they?
No.
I always thought they were like impossible to complete. I thought there was always like like it was like an ever going kind of like thing. Was it? How much time did it take to do that, Joe?
I think it's quite nice in that, unlike Bloodborne and that sort of game, it doesn't record your death. So it only tells you how long it actually took me to do it, not including dying.
Right.
So it doesn't look like very long. I think, and I'm a fapper, so like I just went around trying to find everything, and
Nothing wrong with that.
No, but I'm not a real perfectionist either. So I'll get 8. I'll spend out.
Nothing wrong with that either.
I just can't do that. I'm the sort of person that will literally just beeline straight from start to finish and fuck everything else.
I'm more like Joe. I'm like, oh, what's over here? Oh, what's that? And just completely forget about the main thing that I was supposed to be doing, but I'm just sort of really distracted by all the other bits and pieces.
I don't have enough sort of staying power to go, right, I'm going to 100% it. It's I can't find this block, or I can't do this bit right, I'm going.
Fuck that
But no,
block.
so it's about 20 hours with massive fappery.
A huge degree of faff.
Yeah.
It's my first proper Metroid experience. I remember playing some of the older ones on the GameCube, and I didn't finish it. And I think it's because other games came out, and I tend to be a one game at a time kind of person. So something else will come out and distract me from it.
Okay.
I think this one was good and we finished it, and I went back to play Super Metroid because that's apparently like the big, really
Bit
good
of a
one.
Metroid fan.
No, this is game number 3 that I played. I hated like it so
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm a little confused about something you just said. One game at a time.
Yeah. How do you
What is
do
this?
that?
This makes no sense to me.
What's the secret golden formula for that kind of dedication?
Yeah.
I can't be more like I can't switch on and off. Like, well, at the moment, that's not quite true because I've got one game and Animal Crossing at a time. Because I'm sort of playing Animal Crossing a lot.
Two games.
No, but Animal Crossing has been.
Does that not
I've been
count as a
playing it for
game?
years.
Is that since the update from last week or something?
I got back into it since the update a little bit, yeah.
To be fair, we've
Now,
sold.
I've been food for my pretend Animal
We've
Crossing.
sold our Switch since we got into Animal Crossing because all I did was spend my working from home days on the
Sorry
Switch.
about it. Bloody hellfire. I missed meetings last year.
Meeting schedule with not.
Yeah.
I missed last year, well, when the pandemic started and everybody was playing it. I literally missed meetings. Like core meetings I should have been in
Wow.
at work
I'm glad I missed
because
that
I was
one
just
then, 'cause-
fucking shaking trees. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what's that about?
I was like, I missed a meeting, but my museum now has a new fossil. It's all
exactly.
good.
I completed my aquarium. So
Yeah.
Wow. You guys. Well, thanks, Joe. Neil, what have you been playing?
God, I see. I'm the opposite from what Joe just said. I will float from hundreds of games. Like I feel like I will look through Steam or look on my account or look what's on Games Pass, and I'll go, I'll play that. I'll play that for a bit, and then I play it for an hour
I'll
or two.
download it and I might play it.
Yeah, exactly. I
Might,
start
yeah.
it and I get into the campaign, and then I'm gone again. So, but what from instant memory, I have played some Forza Horizon 5 as well. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's kind of one of those games I like those games that make you feel that you're really good at games. You know what I mean? Like they give you confidence that, like, oh, I'm really good. Yeah, I can race. This is my genre.
Favourite games.
Why haven't I always been to racing games? That you need a chair and a steering wheel and all that kind of stuff. So I've played some of that and I've really enjoyed it. I mean, it's one of those because like I do the majority of my gaming, well, the core of my gaming, I'll do actually during work. So like the game will be paused while I turn around and I'm actually kind of meant to be working at the other side. I'm waiting for like things to go wrong at work and to get calls in and get complaints and stuff. So with Forza, because it's kind of, you can pause it and then you can carry on doing what you're doing in terms of like billboards and stuff, I've kind of really enjoyed it. So played a lot of that, really enjoyed it. The other thing as well is actually, and this isn't planned, but I've really got back into Destiny quite of late as well.
Oh, right,
and, like,
okay.
I played a lot of the first one. I played a lot of the second one when it first initially came out. I played too many hours, but and this isn't, I don't expect violins or anything, but I used to play a lot on my own. I didn't really play a lot with people, and it would be randoms during strikes and randoms for things, but I don't know what it is. I think it's because it came to Games Pass with a lot of content. I've just played a lot of it while I've been kind of during lockdown and stuff. And I've never done a raid or anything like that. Never participated in. Well, I tried a raid and I think I got booted because I wasn't good enough.
Because like work called.
Yeah, exactly. But I've really kind of and I'm really kind of into it at the moment. And I can see where Joe's coming from about kind of podcasts and stuff like that, because I did the same with like Mass Effect. I listened to a lot of kind of bloody people kind of role playing kind of scenarios in Mass Effect. When you do a game, you're into a game, aren't you? And it kind of,
absolutely.
Soundtracks and all that kind of thing, just the epicenter of what's really
but
your
I just
passion.
want to say, if there's anybody else out there playing Destiny and you're sort of doing raids and stuff, invite Neil to your team. Neil, what's your gamer tag so that you can do a raid?
Exactly. It's Baron von Pleb. Everybody should be.
And what platform is that?
I'm playing it on Xbox.
Xbox,
Yes.
right. Invite Neil to your raids.
Yes, please. At least I want a proper go at least one. And fail. I don't mind failing, as long as they don't mind failing with me. So I played a lot of that at the moment, and then the other games that I'm playing through at the moment, really, really quickly, is I really fancied going through all the Bioshock games again from the beginning.
Amazing. I love the Bioshock games.
So I did the first one. Which is the game that got me back into gaming after I'd been travelling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like when I first got my 360, the games that I had were Call of Duty 3 and Bioshock. I'd played like Call of Duty 3 with my friends and stuff like that I worked with at the time, but like actually got me into like storytelling games. It was just immersive as hell. So I'm playing that. I've just finished. Well, I finished the main story of 2. And for the first time ever, I'm playing the DLC, so I think it's called Marava's Den or something along those lines. I've completely hashed that kind of pronunciation, but
is that the DLC for that game or DLC generally?
It's the DLC for number 2 for Bioshock 2, and it's like. It's really good because it takes you to a completely different part of Rapture, using different weapons, different storyline, quite immersive storyline. So I'm going to play that through, and then my plan is to go to Bioshock Infinite and play that, because there's meant to be that kind of the fourth game in the work. So I think.
Is there?
Yeah, apparently. Right. So apparently there's rumours that 2K and all them kind of like the publishers that own the rights and stuff like that are working on a
that'd be amazing.
Bioshock, an open world type of Bioshock.
What's happening Infinite?
Well, this
I
is
think
it.
that was the last one.
Exactly. That was the last one, and it's just the way that the Infinite finished from memory when I first played it through. It's kind of like, well.
Oh, hang on, spoilers.
Yeah, it could go in any direction, basically.
No spoilers.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
you can't say what the ending is.
So that's what I'm playing, and that's my plan. He's robbing banks to song lengths. That's what it is. That's what Bruce Willis is doing.
Well, people, I've got a couple of announcements for what I've been playing. So the first one is, and you probably won't believe me, but I have actually managed to stop playing Fallout 76.
Wow.
Woo-hoo! Oh fucking hell! It's only taken about half a year.
I was gonna, you
Jesus
were
Christ, that game.
buried deep in that.
It's because I think they've sort of taken some ideas from Facebook about how to get people addicted, like behaviour patterns and stuff like that. Because they've got these sort of like, it looks like a scoreboard sort of thing, and you have to log in every day to get points. And it just became very obsessive about having to get the maximum number of points every day in order to progress along this scoreboard before the season finishes. But finished and fuck it, done. Gonna move on.
Fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah. So although I am still playing sort of once or twice a week with my brother, just because we're doing the story together. But other than that, I'm not playing it because that. I mean, I've hardly finished any games this year.
It's a time sink, that game. I played a lot of it.
Good God, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, and when you get into the seasons and stuff like that, like you say, you get into the season, you feel like compelled to play. It's one of the games. But I'm a sucker for Fallout, so it was that kind of that had its hooks in me, and then the kind of like you say, the kind of repetitive method that tries to get you
collecting
into
the cosmetic stuff and all of that stuff. So so that's now behind me. So so instead I'm playing Fallout Shelter on my Switch. So that's going really well. I think they might have made it a bit easier, because when I first played it, when it first came out a few years ago, I was shit at it. But now I'm doing fairly well. So I've been playing that on the Switch, so kind of lunch hour at work, I'll sort of spend a bit of time playing it in the commute and stuff. So playing Fallout Shelter. But the game that I am really focusing on at the moment, and really hope to finish by the end of the year, is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it's such a beautiful game.
Oh wow!
I'm really enjoying it, and I love all of the puzzles. I mean, the story's a bit crap. It doesn't really make sense, but
is the Shadow one the Mexico one, the third?
Yeah,
one?
that's right.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay, I've not played that one actually.
So the story's very confusing. But I'm not really playing it for the story. I like the puzzles and stuff. So and the graphics. So I'm having a lot of fun with, and also because I'm a fan of Ubisoft games, so I'm all about the collecting things, and there's loads of stuff on the map you have to go and collect. So having a great time playing that. So the final thing is that I've actually used my Joker card and I've bought a game.
Oh my god!
And I just thought, I mean, if I don't buy a game now, there's hardly any fucking point.
Just get one.
Exactly. So I'm going to say 3 games that. And one of them is the one that I've bought with my Joker card.
Okay,
and I just want to see
guess.
if you guys can figure out which one it is.
I like this. This is good.
So the first one is a fantastic little indie game called Moonglow Bay. And it looks a little bit Minecraft. It's a bit sort of voxely. And basically you're this little character, and it's all about the fishing. So it's a really lovely sort of relaxing indie game to do with fishing. So it could be that one. The second one is Age of Empires 4. So I used to love Age of Empires, and I've been watching this YouTuber play it, and there's all sorts of videos and stuff, so they're sort of explaining about what's happened in history and just educating you a little bit, but graphics are amazing. And the final one could be Forza Horizon 5, which is beautiful. Lots of people are playing, like communities playing it, incredible game. So out of those 3, which one might it be?
I'm gonna say Age of Empires.
That is really difficult because you seemed really invested in all 3 of them.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna go, that one, and this one!
Yeah. You're just reading a box quote off the back for the first one, surely. Go on, Hannah, so you were saying, go on. What did you think, Kate?
Okay.
How much fishing? I'm going to ask some questions.
Sure.
How much fishing have you done in your life?
How much fishing? I've done no fishing in real life. However, I've done a lot of virtual fishing in games. So World of Warcraft, Minecraft, any other game that's got craft in the name. I really like a game where there's a bit of a fishing element to it, because it's just quite relaxing.
How much driving have you done?
Well, 0. I don't drive. I've never learned. I've never had a single lesson. However, my driving, so I streamed Forza Horizon 4, comically bad vehicles turn into weapons when I'm in control of them.
An expensive weapon.
And how much time have you spent digging up history in reality?
Again, 0. I mean, I might have.
I think it's,
So I
it's a
hope that
difficult one. I
just
think.
sort of shed some light on what the Joker card might possibly have been
I think
spent on.
it's Forza. I think it's Forza.
See, I'm going Age of Empires. I think what I know of you, Cath, I think that kind of that intelligent history, that kind of strategy, kind of way of looking at a game. I think that was something that I believe, and I might be I'm happy to be completely wrong, but I think that is something. I think that Forza will always be there, and the first game, the kind of like relaxing, kind of interactive fishing game, will always be there. But there's been a lot of kind of hype about Age of Empires 4, and there's a lot of people that are on. There is a lot of content on YouTube, but people that get in in depth.
I know how trebuchets work.
Yeah,
as well.
You can make your own in your own backyard, basically.
So the answer is Age of Empires.
Yay! You win.
Feel a little bit good about myself.
Yeah, because I just thought with Forza Horizon 5, well, I've not even finished Forza Horizon 4, and I'm still really enjoying that. Moonglow Bay was just too much of a punt on. I just didn't want to have any regrets using the Joker card. I thought it might be a brilliant game, but then it might not be, and I don't want to take that risk. Whereas I knew that I would love Age of Empires from having played it loads of times in the past, and I do love strategy games as well.
Yeah, I thought
particularly
that.
good at them.
I've
But yeah,
played
Age
all
of
the
Empires.
Well
games
done.
myself, and it's one I jump on immediately, as you say, knowing that it's just a format you're going to enjoy, and it's not a risk.
No, I know I'm going to have a lot of fun and learn about history as well. So I've been learning all about the Battle of Hastings.
I think it's with those kind of games as well. I think it's you can have those relaxing times playing like those fishing games and driving around like Mexico and everything. But there's certain games that you just when you play them, you enjoy them that much that when you look at the clock, you go, Jesus Christ, 6 hours has passed.
Oh yeah,
yeah. 2 Point Hospital. Looking at you.
And I think the Age of Empires has always been one of those games that sucks that time because you're just immersed.
But then also you can just pause it and save it. And go like fuck off and do some work for a bit, and then come back and just continue playing.
Sounds
Whereas
perfect.
Tomb Raider, you can't just turn it off. You have to get to a particular place. So I have to sort of plan when I want to play Tomb Raider. But yeah, Age of Empires, it's amazing. It's not as beautiful as I was hoping, but it's still so much better than the previous versions.
God, I can remember playing gaming for me. It goes back to because I'm quite old. It goes back to like kind of years and years and years and years, centuries kind of thing. But I remember one of the touch points for me was playing Age of Empires at university, and running a LAN cable from the top floor of my house to the bottom floor out the top of the house window down to my bedroom window and into a computer in my room and playing like versus and staying up
so much fun though, wasn't it?
all weekend, just drinking stupid amounts of alcohol, but still trying to play.
And not sleeping much.
Yeah, and just still trying to be strategically kind of beating somebody while you've got so much vodka in your system. It was weird. But yeah, it's got a place in my heart. I'm glad you've done that, Cath. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Very
well,
good
also
stuff.
it's my birthday this weekend coming up. So
bloody
I was sort of
hell.
thank you. I would treat myself to a game.
Who's like, it's your birthday on Saturday, isn't it? It's my birthday on Sunday. So it's like, wow.
Oh, birthday twins.
Bloody hell.
Everyone who's born in
Scorpios.
November.
Obviously not going to be. I'm going to be the gentleman and not asking for numbers. But are you? So you've done your Joker. Have you done like? Are you tempted to get another gift or anything, Cath? Because it's been your birthday. Can you not?
Well,
treat
I mean, I'm
yourself again?
hoping to get a gift, but obviously you can't ask for a gift, can you? We made some stupid rules at the beginning of the year, many of which I regret
Rules
now.
you regret.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Not being able to say it's my fucking birthday, buy me a game.
Yeah. Here's a list of 10. Choose. Yeah.
I would love for someone to buy me a game, even though I've barely made a dent on my pile of shame.
Right.
Because of fucking Fallout.
Right.
But
are you on Steam?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm gonna look at your wish list when we finish this
Oh,
podcast.
Neil. Yeah, thank you.
I'm not even like joking around. I'm like, make sure your wish list is up to date by the end of this evening, and I'm gonna have a good look through.
As soon as this podcast is finished, that is the first.
Add.
Do it, because I've got more
Bless
money than
you.
How
sense.
heavily are you allowed to hint?
Yeah, I don't think you put them in order,
I
can you?
I
love
don't.
it if someone bought me a game. Here's my list of favourite.
I'm not sure that you can. You
Have you
can't.
ever seen
You
Steam
can't
wish lists?
hint.
There's
You
like
can't
hundreds.
imply. We were really strict
We
about
were.
some of these rules, and I mean, very naive about sort of the year of shame. I think because otherwise, I think we might have left a few grey areas. You know, just
Oh, it
yeah,
was,
you know, you can have
Yeah,
a gift. it's okay
leave a
if
few
you-
loopholes to fall into
Yeah.
if needed.
oh, there was so many loopholes when I did.
Yeah,
Year of Shame,
don't
literally.
trap yourselves into a.
No.
Like-
Oh yeah, there was like get out clauses everywhere. People
Yeah.
were like buying like, you know, well, I can buy hardware that comes with 2 games that come out that month as well. It's like,
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
you? Are you willing to? You know, is that right? Okay, yeah. So you've done it right though, guys. You've definitely done. Set yourself really good goals. It's about you know what you want to get out of the experience of the year. So well done
Yeah.
on you.
And in an entire year,
What do you do if you found a game? Is there a rule covering that? If you found a game
On the back of the bus.
Down the sofa.
Or like,
Well, I mean that would be free, so that's fine because yeah, I've been trying a few.
Yeah, it's not a
so-
small bag.
grab on bins.
Fallout First. Well, Xbox gave access to Fallout First for a month, and then you have to start paying for it after that month has expired. So I signed up for it. Just cancelled it the other day because it rolls over on the 26th, and I had to be damn sure to not pay for it because then it will become a cheating bastard card. Which I'm not going to be a cheating bastard. I'm not having anybody yelling that at me, so I cancelled the subscription. Well, I cancelled the thing before it became a subscription.
Was that Fallout First one? It's got the Fallout World thing. Is that activated at the moment? Did you get to use any of that?
I didn't. It was literally to get more points to complete the scoreboard and some more cosmetic. It was ridiculous. It's just like, yeah, give me things that don't exist.
Well, it was a storage when I because I subscribed for about 5 or 6 months to that because I'm an idiot, and it was more like the kind of like the almost infinite storage box kind of thing, you know, that kind of
Oh,
bits
well,
and
I think
bobs.
you got more capacity, but it wasn't infinite, sadly.
That's probably
But then, I don't know, maybe that's a good thing because maybe I'd still be playing it
Yeah.
if it were.
Exactly. Oh,
But
well,
yeah,
well done
it
you.
was almost as bad as Warcraft, that game, just horribly addictive. Okay guys, so I'm going to move on to some guest questions so that the audience can get to know you better. So I'm curious to know what sort of game you guys play to the end. So I'm going to start with you, Joe. When you get a game, what type of game, what genre gets you gripped so you actually complete it rather than sort of put it down and maybe forget about it or come back later?
I think most of the games that I start, I tend to get, like I said, I tend to play one at a time.
Oh yes, you're that guy.
So it's just because I can't cope. It's like I can start a few, but I can only really plow through them one at a time. But sort of running about games. That's what I like to play.
Running about games.
Running about, hitting things, jumping over things, that sort of game. If there's a word for that kind of game,
Sandbox?
maybe. So I started Ghost of Tsushima. That was one that I haven't finished because it's amazing, and but then got distracted by another shiny thing, and then that's
Shit
the one that I'm
happens.
playing at the moment. I tend to avoid driving games. So that's probably because I don't really enjoy driving in real life. I have to do it. It's all right.
Yeah.
I also feel I don't know. It's just not for me. I've never really clicked. Apart from Mario Kart, that's not exactly a driving game, is it? It's not. It's not Gran Turismo. And I got.
I can tell who's got a
like I said,
PlayStation.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I got hooked on Destiny, but that's not one you can complete either.
Yeah, it's just a never-ending game, isn't
Oh,
it?
that's a purposely open
But I've
game.
managed to avoid things like I know I would get hooked on World of Warcraft, and it's like I'm not touching it. I don't want.
Yeah, don't
I
go
want that to
anywhere
happen to
near
me.
it.
And I think Destiny just got under the radar. I didn't realise it was that kind of psychological experiment aspect of let's get everyone completely hooked. I'm pretty sure there's people working out how to lead into trade killers and that. It's so like, here's a little reward, here's a little reward.
Exactly, it's the
Not
random
really,
loot, isn't it?
But your friend can have a shiny thing. Like, It's horrible.
Yeah, you
I think
reach
it
out
is
for the
just-
thing and it slaps your wrist and
Yeah.
not yet.
He's better.
Yeah.
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 As I might have alluded to, I'm a bit of a Nintendo fan as well, so I do like all the Nintendo games.
Yep.
Well, I think
Okay.
I think Nintendo games lend themselves to that kind of completionist one at a time, don't they? They kind of,
Yeah.
you're harking back to the day where there wasn't. There was memory to say kind of thing, but you had to play in one go and go as long as you can, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's probably you get a lot of it from, Joe. You're probably just conditioned to play something, and
That's
and
it.
not
I've been avoiding the conditioning of the other games because Nintendo have already battered me into constant buying from them.
exactly. You've got it like tattooed under your lip or something like that. You don't
Just stick
even
an
know.
M on anything, though. Put a Mario, put a moustache and an M on it, I'll buy it.
Jeez.
What about you, Neil? What sort of game or genre do you
I complete?
have to complete? Yeah.
See, I think my genre is RPGs, so I Fallouts and Mass Effects and things like that. I love the kind of games that you lose yourself in, and you just don't. You wake up at not wake up, but people that generally game with me.
You wake
that I
up
just
slumped
wake up.
over your desk, bit of jewel on the keyboard.
Yeah, and I'm pouring beer on my crotch because I've fallen asleep drinking or whatever. That's generally no. But those kind of games that you kind of realise that you're playing, 6 or 7 hours longer than you should have done. So they're the kind of games that I get the kind of most enjoyment from. And I will do and I've done multiple playthroughs of most of them. I can't get into. I love open world games, so I've dabbled a little bit into Far Cry 6 that came out this year, and kind of enjoyed that. But where you mentioned earlier on, Cath, about enjoying that Ubisoft kind of like, here's a tick list, here's a map of things to do,
full of the shiny things.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I look at it and go, you know what? I'm going to dedicate myself to this game, and then I don't. And then I just kind of, I don't know. So the games, the kind of genre that I complete is normally that single player experience that's kind of revolves around a really good story. Yeah. So kind of somewhere that kind of leads you through, usually a linear type of game that kind of bring you through to an end. So. I do like the kind of Dishonored stuff. I do like the kind of like I mentioned about the kind of Bioshock and stuff, Deus Ex and what have you, where you've got that kind of that RPG element where you feel like you're becoming a badass, and you feel like you're overpowered. Because I'm the kind of person that does every side mission in a part of it. So when I get into the boss, I beat the boss and I show the boss who's boss. That type of thing. So I kind of enjoyed that.
Did you ever play Skyrim?
Oh God, don't, because
they just re-released that, haven't they?
It looks so good as well.
See, I don't want to go on a too much tangent, so please cut me off if I start rambling. So I bought a PC that.
Anyway, Hannah, moving
on. You need to do that as well.
No.
So I bought a PC that can play video games about last year, about a year and a half ago, and it was. And I told myself I wanted one for modding of Fallout and Skyrim.
Yeah.
And honestly, last year I probably modded the shit out of Skyrim and Fallout 4, and I played them loads of times. I'd start off loads of times. So yeah, Skyrim, I've apart from the one that's just been released, which is like the Anniversary Legend Special Edition or something stupid like that, which my PC's telling me is only £15 and I can go fishing. Another fishing game there, Cath. Here we go. I probably have bought it on most systems, to be honest with you. It's just got it's that atmospheric kind of, this is your story, you're living what you create kind of thing that takes you through and kind of binds you towards it. But in answer to your question, yeah, it has to be for me. I get lost. I get lost in the kind of in lots of RP open worlds where I'll just kind of ramble on. So it has to be quite linear for me to complete that game.
Yeah. Okay, great. Hannah, over to you.
To be honest, I'd probably say the only games that I've picked up and just sat down and played from start to finish, like literally stopped to go to the toilet, eat and go to sleep, and literally just that's it, that's my life. Probably the Final Fantasy
Ooh.
I can quite. They're just
okay.
ones that I have to complete them. Just because I've played pretty much all of them.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um,
I didn't know that about you, Helen. That's a side I did not know.
Yeah, I
So
just
have you played
absolutely love them.
Did you play the 7 remake
Yes.
that came out? And oh,
Hannah's a
Beautiful.
bit of a dark horse where games are concerned.
wowzers, that's awesome.
No, they're ones I can spend a lot of time on. Other than that, I'd probably say the only other game that I've literally bought on everything are the Diablo games.
Yeah, Diablo
Yeah.
3.
I've literally sold my PlayStation and my Xbox, so I've only got the PC left. And I still
got Diablo on
bought
it, though?
them on all of them, so I can't even play them on those anymore because I've sold them. But
See,
What a game.
I used to play Diablo 3 on the PlayStation 4, and a previous Year of Shame host, Steve Addiker, ruined it for me because he just overpowered my character. Like,
They just increased the difficulty.
yeah, we just keep bumping it up as it goes.
God, no, you got to kick ass, haven't you? I don't know. I did enjoy it. He's and I'm very much looking
You
forward
ruined
to the
it
next
for you
one.
by being kind.
I know.
Oh, Steve, you bastard.
You absolute fuck, Steve. I must have played Mass Effect, number 1 and number 2, and number 1 and number 2. I must have played him through like 3 times each. Never played the evil character. Never gone renegade.
Oh, I've done
So
that.
Have
Yeah,
you?
it's fun.
I just
You
can't
have to
bring
do it
myself
at least
do
once.
it.
It's fun. It's
No,
fun.
I tried. I can't remember what it was. It's something I'm going to play this evening as I go.
You just have to be an utter bastard. You've just got to go for it.
I can't do
I
it.
think it's a bit like driving. Like, I'm not a bastard in real life. So what's the point of doing it in a game?
It's a very fair point, Joe. It's like, if you're an absolute terror in real life, you can fantasy that you're actually a decent.
I was
bloke.
going to say, if we have the capacity in us, we can. It's already
The
there.
first thing that stopped me from doing it, I think it was one of the Jedi Knight games, and this is a spoiler, but it's about 20 years old. You have to kill someone who's like been your mate all the way through, and I was like, no, I can't do it. And I think that was like the turning point. I was like, no, I'm going to have to play as a good person.
That was Knights of the Old Republic 1, I think, that you had to get to do that in, I think, from memory. Somebody had been your companion all the way through, and I remember that. See, that stayed with me. See, talking about the good and evil divide very briefly as a bit of a tangent, I can't play... what's it called? The PlayStation game with the monsters, that we have to kill the big monsters.
Oh, Shadow of the Colossus.
Can't play it. Because somebody spoilt it for me, kind of know what the premise is.
Exactly, yeah.
And now I can't bring myself physically, emotionally to play it.
I don't want to fight the Colossus.
Because, yeah, exactly. I don't want to do the Colossus
I feel
because...
sorry for them. now.
Exactly, yeah. I've got too much empathy, I'll end up just feeling like a rotten fuck. And, like, no, I can't do it now. I know that wasn't what the question was, but we kind of got there.
No, but then that's a nice segue to my next question. So, participating in Year of Shame has been really good for me because it's basically sort of enabled me to play the indie games that I thought were interesting and bought and that have been just sitting around waiting to pick them up, and enjoy sort of the amazing and memorable stories from them. And there's been some real gems as well. So I'm just curious to know what your most memorable experience has been in a video game. Hannah.
Oh, God, I thought you were going to leave me to last, was you?
Memorable, was that memorable experience?
Yeah, what's your most memorable experience in a video game?
Jesus
for whatever
Christ.
reason.
That's...
Okay, Neil, do you want to give Hannah a bit of time to think?
yeah, I can give her some thinking time, I
The
suppose.
irony is none of us can remember the most memorable.
Yeah,
The irony.
to remember. That's not good. It's difficult to choose because I think video games affect us in loads of different ways. I remember the most memorable. One of the video games that really kind of like touched me the most when I was going through my kind of gaming experience that sticks with me is Fallout 3. and I've mentioned it on other podcasts. Kind of the reason why I was going through a really difficult time in my life at that time when that game came out, and it was pure escapism.
Yeah.
Pure, like, I am not here. I'm not living in my town. I'm not dealing with my shit. I'm actually in the wasteland.
Leave life behind. And just...
Completely. So, like, moments in that game really stick with me. And when people talk about kind of, like, particular kind of emotional traits that my brain skips straight back to that game. So when you first come out of the vault and the kind of everything, the white turns and the contrast comes in, you can see the wasteland for the first time. When you have the option to blow up Megaton and you can see the mushroom cloud, or whether you save it, or that kind of thing. And certain aspects of the game about being kind of helping with the steel, where you kind of fix the water supply. There's certain kind of points of that game that will never leave me. So they're the most memorable bits for me, and it's because at the time I took the game incredibly personal, because I needed to kind of not be where I was, and I think that will probably be, if anybody asks me like what's the game that you probably remember on your deathbed kind of thing, I think that would probably, until Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it's probably that.
Right.
There you go. Is that enough thinking time for you, Hannah?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess I haven't sort of got a game in mind that's sort of on that sort of emotional level for me. But I think the most memorable...
It doesn't have to be emotional.
No, so I think the most memorable for me is when you were talking about BioShock earlier, and even of all the games I've played through, the twist in it was what surprised me the most, because I actually at the time first playthrough didn't see it coming, and it was like sort of shock, surprise, like, oh wow, that was actually brilliant, like, so it was just sort of quite a few varying feelings about it at the time.
Yeah, because you feel suckered by the game's lying to you to a certain extent, don't you? You're like, you bastard.
It's like, actually, that's very, very clever.
And now I feel bad for killing all these people that maybe I shouldn't have killed.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Joe, have you got one?
I've had the most thinking time. So it's kind of like saying what's the most memorable song, and I think.
Well, it changes from moment to moment, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I can think when you took me thinking like at different times, like GoldenEye, I can remember sitting down on my Mate 1064 doing that, and that's like a big. It is like songs that really sort of follow you around your life. So if you remember playing GoldenEye and Mario Kart, I can remember my mate's bedroom with all that gold, and that's like a really stuck in my mind. But then there's so many others, like you mentioned like little indie games. I remember playing. I think it's called Going Home. I can't remember the title very well.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like it's really creepy. And it was me and my partner Helen were playing it like.
You're sort of creeping around a mansion or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And you think, I was thinking, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I was thinking, what am I going to find there? Like, what?
Yeah.
As everyone said, where am I going to find the bits of the bodies and stuff? And it was really creepy, but then it was. The way it unfolded was very clever, and I didn't really sort of remember. And I think we played it in like an afternoon and a night. I just played the whole thing in one go. The Last of Us, I hadn't played games for ages, and I hadn't played The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3 at all. My first PlayStation, PlayStation 4. I ended up I hadn't played games really for years. Got a PlayStation 4. I thought, shit, is this what games are like?
Yeah.
I mean, The Last of Us was one that was like, are they all like this?
Did it have to make you cry and laugh at the same time?
Yeah. And The Last of Us 2, for similar reasons, there's loads of things there. And it changes.
Don't spoil it. I've not played it.
I'm definitely not going to spoil it, but you're thinking like, it changed the way I was doing it. I was like, no, I'm going to do no harm. And get the sort of
be a better person.
Yeah. Animal Crossing, like that one. So many memorable bits of that from last, because it was tied to pandemics. Like it was how you got out of your house. I don't know what's
Yeah,
it
that's a good
is.
point.
And it felt like it was so weird, like meeting friends on it, how much that felt like you actually meet them. Because it doesn't look particularly realistic. And I'm talking to like an eagle over here, but like the mates come round.
A yellow eagle.
But then that game was really good during lockdown,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Because it just let people sort of socialise online
Me and
for a
Helen
game.
went to the aquarium it was a birthday in lockdown. We went to the aquarium in Animal Crossing with two of the little characters running around. But because the year before we'd gone to the aquarium, and it's just like, it was quite nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's one that's really under my skin now. It's hard to, I'm not quite ready to let go of it. Like if someone deleted that, I'd be devastated. Absolutely. More than pretty much anything else.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
good.
well, I've had ages trying to think of an answer, and I've thought of multiple answers, and then going, oh no, maybe not that one. Maybe there's one that's even more memorable than that. But I guess what makes a game memorable for me is usually the story. So I get really into the story, and just really engrossed by it, and really want to do it properly. And I think probably the most recent one that I've got really involved with and actually just started feeling quite emotional at times because it's of what's going on. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, Spiritfarer. That's it.
It got me
so
so involved that I can't actually remember the name of the game.
I'm blanked out.
Spiritfarer, because you sort of meet people who were part of your life, and you have to sort of take them to the archway so they can sort of disappear forever and you'll never see them again. And it's just a real
Aw.
tearjerker because you can sort of learn about their story and you help them do a final sort of task before they then sort of disappear and get reincarnated or something, I guess. But yeah, and I think the music as well, it's just really like,
I feel like I'd
really
cry
sad.
playing that. Like I can get quite emotional, things like that, and music and all sorts.
And there was fishing in that
That's
game.
sweet.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Double the bonus.
Yep.
Non-fishing game has got the best fishing in it.
Ooh. I don't know, I think maybe World of Warcraft. I used to love doing fishing in Warcraft.
Was it like, I've never played Warcraft. Could you fish anywhere, or was it like fishing
It's got
areas?
the water.
But yeah, not the air, or like a pond.
Generally, a largish pool of water.
But anywhere. I'm just thinking like.
Pretty much, yeah.
'Cause
But you wanted to fish in particular places because there were really rare fish that you could get.
Yeah, this is because thinking.
That worth loads.
Could you like auction house the fish or the skin, or was it all about like? Because I've never played. Like I say, I've
think
never
it was.
played.
You could. I mean, it's been a long time since I
Yeah.
played, but I think that you could auction house. You could auction house anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know why people would want to buy a fish
Well, you know, people
unless
are
you
weird,
could.
aren't
It was
they?
like a thing that you needed to craft to create something amazing. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it's great. And achievement as well. You've got an achievement for doing like fishing and getting the rare fish in all of the particular pools.
Ah, I
So
see.
that was another motivating factor.
Because that's the thing is like I've playing like Far Cry 6. You can use certain areas where you're gonna get like premium fish. Do you mean it? But and I can remember just chucking the rod out like a month or two ago when I bought first of all. I'm chucking. When I was thinking, oh, this is really beautiful because it's a really nice looking game. But then realizing quite after like half an hour of like casting a rod out that this isn't an area where you catch fish. And so I was like, oh.
Oh dear.
Okay, I'll move on, shall I? I'll
No
shoot
wonder I'm not
people in the
catching
face.
anything. I just thought maybe it's the wrong bait, but no, there aren't actually any fish here.
Yeah, it's actually a stagnant pond. Jesus
Mm.
Christ.
I always enjoyed the
Bollocks.
fishing in like Red Dead Online and Red Dead 2.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't beat a fishing mini game. You just can't. They're
The
best.
mechanics, you know, they buy and sell the game, don't they? When it comes to fishing, if it's relaxing but challenging.
Exactly.
It's
After all
got
that
you.
killing.
Oh,
that's
the
what you
actual
gotta do.
trying to reel in a fish on Red Dead is ridiculous.
What is it? How do you do that? Is it like how many what button combinations do you have to do?
It's something like you have to use. I'm sure you have to use one of your like your direction pads, and you're like spinning it round, and like it's reeling and all sorts. It's awful.
Virtual
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Horrible.
Not into
Crikey.
Okay, boys. So, do you have any questions that you would like to ask?
Oh my
It's like
god.
a job interview now, isn't it? We've got to do.
Yeah. And what would you like
What's the best
to?
thing about working here, though?
Yeah. I don't know. I think as somebody that's done Year of Shame before, it's always a pleasure to be put to like speak to people that have gone through it in some manner or fashion, because I don't think people understand. They think it's a very easy thing to do. I think that most people think, oh yeah, I could get by. You know, I've got loads
I
of games.
could not
and
buy
stuff.
a game for
Yeah.
12 months.
And
But
it's
no, it's not
yeah.
easy.
It's something that like Cath and I briefly mentioned before we started and we met with everybody. It's like you forget that people kind of get caught up in the hype of every single game, and it's kind of like for somebody that's not buying games, it's fucking cruel because you're like I've got the same excitement, and it's like I use the analogy with Cath. I was like, it's like yeah, you're all part of the kind of hurdles race, but then you get to the last hurdle and you have to stop. You're not allowed to jump over it. You're not allowed to get to there. So I suppose my question to you, Cath, would be like, what's the game this year that's come out that you wish you'd bought the most?
But I really wanted to buy it, and then when it came out,
hype.
I just looked out of the window and the rain was hitting the glass, and I was just sort of gazing, feeling sad, and there was maybe a violin playing in the background. Neil's violin, it came
I've
over.
lent it.
So I guess recently it's been Forza Horizon 5 because everyone's been going, hey, look, we've made a group, let's all play together, and I've gone, oh, I want to be part of that group as well.
Oh, shit.
I want to ruin people's games with my bad driving, but I can't. So I have to wait till next year before I can do that. So that's been sort of the most recent one that I've been really sad about, because I really love games set in Mexico as well. I love the sort of Mexican culture and sugar skulls and all that sort of thing. And also I'm a real sucker for hype, and you know they've obviously been bigging it up, and that's why I bought Age of Empires. But yeah, that one. But then also sort of throughout the year, like Rust came out, and I was like, yeah, I really want to play Rust, even though nobody was really talking about it. But I loved Rust when I played it on the PC, and I was really close to buying Rust, but I just thought it's too early in the year. I think it was like, I don't know, May or something it came out. Not even halfway through. Yeah. Didn't buy it. And yeah, I'm also grateful for Dave sort of talking me out of buying Diablo 2, like the remaster.
Oh yeah.
Because I got really excited about that. Yeah. And he just said, no, that Cath, it's not going to be as good as you think. It's basically a really old game that they sort of reskin slightly, like the mechanics and stuff are going to be old, and Diablo 3 was the improved version. It's not Diablo 3. So thank you, Dave, for talking me out of that.
Well, isn't that like the people that are experiencing at the moment with the GTA trilogy remastered, where people have got enthusiastically kind of about the kind of mysticism of what it was like when they first played it, and now they're playing it, it's like, this looks shit.
I don't think you can get that same feeling back though from when we played it and the age you'd have been when it was out, and we're now like 30 and up in age.
Well, we've got certain expectations now, things are better, and also you've got your rose tinted glasses on when you kind of think nostalgically about a game that you loved, years ago. It's never going to be as good as
if you enjoyed it, you should leave it in that nice little part of your brain where you enjoy.
Unless it's Skyrim, and then just keep on buying it,
or Diablo 3.
Yeah.
So for you then, Kat, I think it's probably the last caveat to my question is that Diablo 2 is the kind of the trigger you were about to pull, but you feel glad that you didn't do it.
I'm really pleased I didn't do it, because I think Dave would have been right. I would have gone like, yeah, a Diablo game, brilliant, really excited. Oh, this isn't as good as Diablo 3. Oh, fuck, I've just wasted my Joker. That's exactly how it would have
And that's 30 quid down the drain. Shit!
Exactly. Well, it's not. Fuck the 30 quid. There's my Joker card gone.
Yeah.
Much more precious. So, it's just a little bit isolating when you can't sort of join in with the community when everyone's really excited about it. And that's really the toughest thing that I found with Year of Shame.
Yeah, it's true, and it's even though, and I think that's the reason why, as Euroshame's kind of gathered momentum and got bigger and bigger and gained kind of popularity through each kind of year.
Yeah.
I think that's why creating kind of like web pages and Facebook pages and kind of streaming and stuff like that's become more important. So you don't feel like that you're on your own, because I remember doing the podcast and we were just moaning at each other, and it must have been absolutely boring to listen to. They're moaning about the same shit again.
There's no point
each
moaning
month.
though. You just gotta like accept that you can't buy anything and just have fun with the things
that you can play.
Spoiled little shit. So you got all these games that you haven't played that you fucking bought.
Exactly.
Be happy about it. At least you've got some fucking games to play.
Exactly.
So yeah, don't be moaning about them because spoiled. And also, it's really boring to listen to. So you need to be excited about what you've got.
You're saying that my podcast here is boring, Cath.
That's what I expected it.
Yeah.
Really boring, Neil. I didn't listen to it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Joe. What were you saying?
No, I'm just saying I was agreeing with you that Neil was boring. So that's why I was interpreting what you were saying, that Neil was boring.
Yeah,
I thought this is the bit where we all pile in on Neil. I'm just glad it wasn't me that was getting piled on.
No,
Spoiled
honestly,
shit as well.
I've had many review of my voice on podcasts, and my voice. Look, it's affliction, okay? Don't fucking blame me for it. My mum and dad gave it me through genetics. There's nothing I can do about it. It's weird. All right, fine. It's both high pitched and monotone at the same time. Fuck it.
Because I've got a question, I suppose, probably for all three.
Yeah.
But Neil, you did it because you can actually answer it not in a hypothetical, but do you think it will change? Because Hannah, you started, didn't you? Do you think it will change the way you behave buying games? So do you think it will just straight back to normal, or did it and I guess Neil, you know this is why.
I guess because I stopped in about September, so I haven't been doing it for a couple of months, and Destiny was already on my list anyway, so I actually could play that if I wanted. As I said, I only bothered because everyone else had sort of started picking it up again. So really, since stopping, I'd only picked up Forza Horizon 5. So I sort of, as much as I'd said that the whole gaming world had reopened to me, I didn't particularly go out and go mental.
But you have been rather preoccupied.
Well, yeah, I guess because personal circumstances make things slightly different, so...
Yeah, a human came out.
Well, yeah, exactly. And now it takes up all my time. But I don't know, I don't feel like even if I had all the time in the world that I'd be going out and going mental, because I think actually I do have a load of games there that I would actually like to sit down, and whether they turn out to be shit, good, mediocre, whatever, I would like to actually bother playing them, seeing as though I've wasted my money buying them.
Oh, it's not a waste. It's an investment.
Well, potentially.
It's an investment into fun. Well, I like to think that it's going to change my spending habits. I like to, to be honest, as I said, I've not really made a dent in my pile, and I kind of feel like I want to continue doing Year of Shame next year. That obviously I'll buy a few bits and pieces, but I really would like to just at least try the games once. I think when we had EGX back in October, I think it was, and I really wasn't sure whether or not to go. In the end, I didn't. But instead, I kind of had like my own EGX at home, so I just was sort of going through my Steam library, just trying things, and I had a fantastic time. I was playing all these indie games, so I'd kind of like to continue doing that, just at least try something before, just buying something else. Saying that, I'll probably just, do what everybody does when they finish Year of Shame and just have a massive shopping spree.
Oh. See, when I finished my Year of Shame, I think I went out and I think I bought 2, maybe 3 games that had just been pestering me that entire
Yeah.
year, and I was just like, right, no, I'm getting on it because I want to see the story. I want to see what they are. You know,
Yeah.
avoiding the spoilers and all that kind of thing about what happened. I think I did that, but it does teach you a lot. It teaches you about the value of games. So you're saying,
Yes.
Cath, about like, you know, indie games and the enjoyment you can get out of something that costs £7, £15, rather than paying £65 or whatever it may
Exactly,
be.
yeah.
It does teach you that actually, and you know what, the biggest thing that I got out of it, Joe, was just that, like, if you wait. And it sounds like a stupid thing to say out loud. It sounds really fucking obvious.
Say it anyway, though.
But if you wait 6 months, things become cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you avoid the hype as much as possible, or you know, crisscross across the hype, and you just go, I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not getting this day one, and then you wait. Most things, I think I got lucky in my year. Maybe most things died out after 2 or 3 weeks. You know,
Yeah,
within the
course.
kind of like the communities that were all involved in it, most people kind of got a little bit bored or moved on maybe after about 2 or 3 weeks, and then it means that when I came out, those games were ridiculously cheap. I could still
But-
go out and get them, but
It's not just about them being cheap, though. So as we were sort of talking about earlier, it's about the community. It's about playing with people and having a right laugh. So when Fall Guys came out, I think it was last year, everybody was on that. People absolutely loved it, and I know the people who were doing the Year of Shame couldn't get involved with that. I mean, bless them, they were sort of doing their own. Oh, that sounds very patronising and condescending,
them.
but
Bless them.
they were, because there were a few of them, they were sort of organising their own sort of social games, so they were still getting that fix. But it must have been quite tough not being able to be part of that, because everyone was raving
Yeah, it's
about
awful.
how much fun they were having. So yeah, it's sort of the community aspect as well, as much as the hype that sort of draws people towards games.
I think
And
in
that's
a
the
way
thing.
we've been quite lucky this year. If you look at what's actually come
'Cause
out,
there's been like not much come out
there's
that's
been
good.
hardly anything like big community get together apart from now with Forza,
Yeah.
and it's nearly the end.
Yeah.
Like there's a month left, so it's like it's incredibly lucky.
yeah, because that's because the console launches at Christmas, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, the first year of console launches.
But you still can't get hold of a console though.
Well,
I mean, I look just for fun, and
Yeah.
I've not seen them ever. And any website, you just cannot get them.
I managed to get both of them.
Well, I was thinking of it because I've still got PS4. I thought maybe I'll get PS5. Be nice.
I hate you.
I can't.
Nah.
You
It's
honestly.
still like really hard to. And I think if you can't just do it on a whim, you have to sort of plan and
Oh,
wait
no, you've
and
got to
jump on it.
Yep. You've got to dedicate like days, weeks to like following particular Twitter accounts for when it goes live,
Yeah.
and then having your credit card basically plastered to your hand, so you just know your numbers.
I was
and
going to
stuff
say you
like
need it
that.
memorised.
Yeah, completely. I was lucky enough with when I got my consoles. I was lucky enough that a particular community member
Who
slash
shall remain nameless.
slash community manager slash just general fucking legend.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
was basically on hand to tech
Bless him.
guru, just basically helped me out and got one of mine for me. So we all need somebody like that in our lives,
Yeah,
basically.
so if that's that sort of good Samaritan tech guru person wants to bear me in mind at the end of December,
Well,
then,
you know.
we could be,
You're not
we could
going
be
for a
friends.
birthday gift. You're not hinting that happening.
Oh, I forgot about. I need to write down the fact that I'm meant to be in your Steam list. Remind me at the end.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up now. So thank you so much for joining us, and also Hannah, thank you so much for joining
no,
us
it's been
because
great.
we've all really missed you. Joe, how can people follow you on gaming or Twitter or?
I am Joe Cooper. Is how you find me most places.
Yeah.
Don't follow too closely.
Yeah,
Stand
you might
back.
get scared of what you see.
Yeah. Yeah, I am Joe Cooper on the PlayStation. I haven't got an Xbox. I have to be at it. But on an Xbox, it's Cooper Sensei because I bought it when I was in Japan.
But you don't use it anyway, so there's no point.
Yeah, but still, if people want to follow me, they can follow me from a distance on the Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
Covered in dust.
And I've got a Twitter, I think. Fucking cool.
Do you use Twitters? Do you?
No, it's a private one as well. See, because of my job, I have to be a bit more hidden, things like that.
Oh, okay. So he's an assassin by trade. So okay.
What about you, Hannah? How can people follow you?
I
particular
am
platform?
domestic tadpole on everything. Just keep it nice and simple.
Yeah. And you, Neil?
Oh, I'm Baron von Pleb. And that, you know,
And that's on Xbox.
That's on Xbox.
Or is
That's
that
on
everything as
PlayStation.
well?
That's everything. Yeah. So Twitter, PlayStation, Steam, everything. Baron von Pleb. And if it's not got a profile picture of my face, me doing this, then it's not me. And that's for everybody that's listening. That's me doing a massive thumbs up and a stupid face.
If you just think of that meme of Neil,
Yeah.
but just zoom in on the face.
Don't talk about that meme. Follow me till I die. That's gonna be. You know when like, people get buried and they have a photograph on their grave. Like, it's either gonna be my picture on the grave or somebody's gonna fucking put that meme on top of my
in
grave.
the coffin.
That I'm laid on my top of my own grave, just doing this with a beer. It's gonna follow me till I die.
Yeah, that is going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
I know.
Yep. Okay, people, you can follow me at Monkey Police Go, again on any platform, Twitter, YouTube. That is my tag for literally everything. So yeah, if you want to follow me, I should be streaming stuff in December. So I'm going to try and complete all of the games that are on my list that are still untouched. So that's Switch, that's PC, that's PS4. That's Xbox. I'll try and do some announcements because it's something I've been promising for a while. Do announcements. It might not be very much notice because I might just come home one evening and think, you know what, I really fancy streaming something. Or I might plan it. Who knows? Anyway, keep an eye out for it. And that's me. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And catch you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.